So,
Are we doing 1, 2, 3?
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it's time. So, back here at the Latininced studios again. 1, 2, 3.
I like the intro. It's pretty cool. You've done well.
I got it made on Fiverr.
You got the what on Fiverr?
I got it made on Fiverr.
You got it made on Fiverr?
Yeah, I didn't do it.
I don't know what any of that means.
I hired a freelancer to do it.
What's Fiverr?
A freelance page.
I could have connected those together.
Yeah. I asked the freelancer if they wanted credits, and they were like, no, you can use it like as you want. And I'm like, okay.
But I like it a lot. That freelancer did a great job.
Yes.
Still give him some props. Who is he?
Yeah.
Or her?
She. I don't
Or
remember
them.
her name.
This is going great. This is going great.
But I have the Fiverr announcement.
just
I'm gonna put it there.
Yeah.
I said to her, imagine Daddy Freire and Latin music together. So I sent her a sample of Daddy Freire's music, and she's based in Argentina, but I think she's Venezuelan, so she already knew Latin music. So.
But yeah, you should plug her.
Yeah, we're gonna plug you. We're gonna give you your flowers because you deserve them.
Yes.
It starts with an N. Her name.
You're not doing yourself any favors right now.
No.
You need to stop.
But she was great. She was really polite, and she was like really hardworking.
She was so good you forgot her name.
You have forgotten people's names even when they've been very good to you.
I don't think so. No, I would normally remember somebody that does well by me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a valuable thing to have.
Yeah.
Somebody that does something.
Like out downtown.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. People who have been good to you. Out downtown.
You mean like tourists that I've been?
No.
No. Are you trying to reference something specific?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
It was like, haven't you
then
ever?
No, I always remember everybody's name. Absolutely.
So you have a list.
Everybody. I remember. I'm great at names.
Yeah. So you have a list, and I'm not on your good side now.
Also, because I'm in Iceland, so like there's like 5 names.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Latininced, the show where we're trying to figure out whether we're getting Icelandified or we're Latinized in Iceland. I'm Dan.
I'm Mo.
Yeah. How are you guys doing? I'm gonna do this first, so I don't forget it by the end. But since you're here, since we're already here, like talking, like look at the subscribe, share, comment thing. Like it's right there. Like let's just get it out of the way. Let's just do it, and then you don't have to do it like towards the end. Because you're probably like doing the dishes or putting your laundry away or something. You're starting your daily boring tasks, and you want us with you.
Yeah.
So, but just get it over with and just like do it. That will help us a lot, and you only have to do it once. So I think it's fair. It's fair trade.
And to all the people that do it too.
Yeah. So now that we got out of the way.
Out of begging.
I mean, that's basically show business. Like
Yeah.
you beg for attention. Get to it.
You love saying that. I think you say that all the time.
And look where it's gotten us.
Yeah.
To my house behind a curtain.
Cheers.
No, in front of a curtain, not behind a curtain, because that would be weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I came here. I thought he wanted to shoot a porno because behind these curtains is his bedroom.
He should be so lucky.
I come here and everything's pointed at the bedroom. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What's happening here?
I already do charity work.
What is that supposed to mean? You would be so fucking lucky. Jesus Christ.
People are gonna take these parts, put them out of context, and just like make us look as if like will they one day.
Yeah, I guess I won't be able to run for president one day. Yeah. In
Dominican Republic.
Yeah, probably Dominican.
I think
you can say Turkmenistan or something. But
I think you can. I think you can run for president in Iceland if you are an Icelandic citizen. Like there's no law that you said that you have to be born in Iceland to run for president.
I know. They will never allow it though.
I mean, nobody would vote for a utlendingur, but
No.
but you can put your hat in there.
I don't think they would vote for a mixed race, as they would say.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna put it out there. When I get my citizenship, I'm gonna do it as a bit. I'm gonna run for president, just for a bit, and I'm gonna document every step of the way.
That is just for a comedy bit, not just for a little bit.
I am so bad at comedians' names. There was this comedian, British comedian, that made this bit out of trolling uh, corporations who were like doing things for pride. Like we are like, hi gay, we at this bank are really good at keeping your coin queen, and he would like troll them, and then he would post them in his show, like the replies that he gave to people, and they were hilarious. So I don't remember the name, but he was really good. He's a really good comedian. Again, me with names. I'm sorry. So how you been?
I've
¿Qué lo
been
que?
alright. Well, my karaoke of the week, or of this episode, I would say, it's a bit double intended because
Alright.
it's also me asking you for a favor
Okay.
on camera to put the pressure on you.
I mean, I could always cut this part out.
I intentionally waited for this. I am moving.
All right.
I got an apartment.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah.
When I called you the other day.
So I'm moving into an apartment at the end of the month, and I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
Yeah. And now I'm not taking this part out of the camera because I remember in the call, I told him specifically, if you need help moving, you can call me.
There we go. So yes,
So-
I will need help moving.
So this part is so going in there.
Perfect.
This is going to make me look great.
It's gonna make you look great if you do it, buddy. If you don't, I'm coming back on the show. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be bad for you.
Then it's going to be like, oh, Mauricio, just
You're
stop
gonna-
doing
You're
Latininced.
gonna get that Dominican wrath. coming
No,
at
no,
you.
I will help you. I've helped people move. I do that. I've done that.
Are you convincing yourself?
No, no.
Right now? Okay.
I'm not convincing anybody. Like,
That's true.
I have another friend. I'm not gonna name this friend because I don't know if they would like to be named on camera. But they moved a few years ago to an apartment in Copenhagen, and I was the only person in his friend circle who went and helped him move.
You're so petty, bro.
I'm not petty. I'm just giving you like the history of
You
me.
could have just said I went and helped these people. You don't have
I
to say,
helped them.
I was the only one who showed up.
But I helped him.
That's petty as shit.
I mean, he had other helping hands, like family and stuff, but like out of the friends, I helped.
So there were a lot more people there.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I said of his friends.
You're again not helping your case right now. That's just petty upon petty upon
Well.
petty.
Well, I guess that's me now.
You first made it seem like it was only you there to help.
Yes. Like,
Yes.
I mean, creative license.
Yeah.
One person.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Never let a story suffer for its truth. That's what they say.
No. But I'll help you move. And next time, the next episode, you're gonna have to say that I helped you move.
Well,
Because
if you-
after all of this.
I don't have to say a goddamn thing. I'll do it if you help me.
I mean, I will help you.
Okay.
Tell me in advance, though. At the end of this month.
I'm telling you right now.
At the end of this month it's like several days.
Might be on Sunday.
Okay, see, that's what I like
Might be on Sunday.
because I have a book
Yeah, we know.
and I'll keep my dates there.
Yeah, I love that.
It has a
I
name.
don't. You gave it that name.
Well, yes, I
Be
gave
very
it.
clear on that.
But we're not gonna say it in camera because it has a slur in it. Even though I can say the slur, but
And he's gonna say one day, he definitely put the name on it. I did not put the name on it.
I totally did.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Like I can say the name of the book. You cannot.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So yeah, just to put it in there and like to make it like stick. Because I'm trying to be more organized. So like,
What's your karaoke?
right? My Kiloke is tied to a series of events that have been happening, which are going to be part of like the whole theme of today's episode. But on last Saturday, I went to a demonstration of the Venezuelans living in Iceland to basically protest the results of the elections on the 28th of July. And it was nice. It was a nice thing. It was good to be there. I mean, it seems like I'm repeating myself, but it's basically like how I felt, and it's good to like put it into voice now. That I mean, I went there and I was a little bit like, I remember like I've been out of Venezuela for almost 10 years now, 8 in Iceland only. Um, so I've been in Venezuela out of Venezuela for about 10 years, and because of the situation in Venezuela and all the and all the abuses and all the things that have been happening and the lack of like actual law and like the chaos and power outs and lack of food and all of these things, I've had to like take my Venezuelanness, put it in a box, and like keep it, because when I first came here, and even when I was in Colombia before Venezuela, I just couldn't function like having my head in the country where I'm trying to like settle in, and then having my head in the news or like what's happening, and like yet again another like a fraudulent thing, another like um, another political move that kidnaps the freedoms of the Venezuelan people. So I just had to like take my Venezuelanness, put it in a box, and when I was there, I mean, and after the 28th of July, and after all these things that have been happening, like been following like the elections and all of that, it's like that box like uh, opened up, sprang open, and I'm all like Gloria Bravo Pueblo up in this bitch, like or like Venezuela, like again, like I've never felt like this Venezuelan in years. So it was good to be there, like surrounded of other Venezuelan people. I sang the national anthem, and I secretly hope that people did not applaud after, because people do that. And it's in the rules of the Venezuelan
It
anthem.
is taught in Dominican Republic.
You're not supposed to applaud.
I don't think you're supposed to applaud for any anthem,
Yeah,
but since the American anthem is mostly sang at sports events where you see them applauding, it's more about the sport event than it is about the anthem, I
yeah,
think.
I think so.
But in Dominican
But
Republic,
even
it's definitely
but
not
even
allowed.
even in Venezuela, when you go to baseball games and stuff, like people don't applaud it.
Yeah.
Like there's just a bit of a silence. Something else happens, or somebody yells something,
Yeah.
and then applause
Yeah.
bursts. Like, but you don't applaud like right after.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't applaud, don't applaud, don't applaud. They didn't applaud, which is great for my compatriots here. And like we walked down Scola Stiger.
I can imagine. How many people were there?
I mean, there were easily in between 80 and 100.
A
But we
hundred, 100 Venezuelans standing there going like, I hope they don't applaud. I hope they don't applaud. I hope they don't applaud.
collectively, and it's nice. Like I felt like my Venezuelanness like slowly started healing. Like so like. Um, and it was nice like to reconnect that and like do that. We walked down Scola Stiger, where in the corner, do you know that corner in Scola Stiger where there's a subway and the this bar where they used to play like Latin music.
Yeah.
It's like a basement bar, like in that corner there. People we stopped there. People were like playing. A girl was playing the cello.
That used to be Colvin.
Yeah, name it. Yeah. Yeah, a girl was playing the cello, and then another like person was doing like some like interpretive dance thing to a piece, and like it was like all a very like nice and beautiful, and some tourists would like stop and ask what's happening. I told a few of them what was happening, gave them like some things like some like links of news sites to like in English to like follow up with whatever it is to like get a bit more in context. But then Sigurion happened. There's just this old guy, like maybe late 50s, early 60s, in a bike, who was biking on a bike,
Yeah.
who was biking away from the from that corner. So, because I remember he was like, he biked, and then he came back, and
On
then
Liga, Igor.
on Lugaver, like, so the imagine like the concentration was in Escola Bordustigo, but if you were walking down
You
Lugaver,
of course see it.
you
Yeah.
you could see it, but it would not disturb your path, your way down. So he like turned back and asked in Icelandic what was happening. So I told him like, yeah, this is happening. Like, it's a demonstration for the Venezuelan people. Blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, but what does that matter to us? Why do we need? Why do we need to like care for this? I mean, because there's a dictatorship happen, and like, human rights are being violated. But we're a small nation. Why are you like um clogging up the streets? Because people are trying to express themselves, but we have like enough Venezuelans already. Like, why don't we send them all back? All this in Icelandic. Then I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna have this conversation with you. Have a good day. And I turned my back to him. And then he just left, mumbling something, because I didn't want to be the angry immigrant that would like tell him, mira mamá huevo de la verga, cállate la jeta. Si no te gusta, sigue. Porque aquí hay venezolanos y van a haber venezolanos y los venezolanos se van a robar a los maridos y a las esposas y van a ser más venezolanos. Así que soporta, mamá huevo. Eso es lo que te quería decir. Pero, but,
Couldn't have said it any better.
but sometimes you don't want to be the angry immigrant. I felt that for me, this was not the time.
No, it was not the time. It's never really the time.
So,
I agree.
so I also made.
I've had the opportunity to be it, and I've decided not to, even though I really, 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 really want to. Just like you said.
Yeah. But all of that I said it in my head, but I made a post, and I was like, you know what, Sigurjon, I hope when you buy a can of Coke, you get it flat every time. I hope that whenever you go to the store to buy tuna in a can, you always get tuna in oil instead of tuna in brine. And last but not least, I hope that you go to the bus stop just late enough to see the bus drive away
Damn.
and have to wait for it for another 30 minutes.
Oh.
I don't wish people death. I wish people like this
That's
this
specific,
inconvenience,
bro.
these
You
little
see,
inconveniences.
you are bitter as fuck. I told you.
I mean, if you ask me,
That was some Dante Inferno kind
if
of
you
shit.
ask me openly, like, what do we have? Why do we care? Why shouldn't we send all
Why
Venezuelans
don't
back?
you? I was gonna say my mama told me not to curse.
Yeah. That's why I'm not gonna wish you death or anything like that. I'm gonna wish you like this tiny inconvenience for the rest of your life, and I hope they happen.
I wish every time you walk, you feel like you got a little stone in your shoe.
Yes.
It's a little bitty stone that's like, is it worth stopping for? But it's really bothering you, but you can't stop thinking about it.
Yes. Yes. Oh my
Every
God.
day of your life,
Oh
for
my
the
God.
rest of your
Yes.
life.
I hope you always feel like you're losing your house keys, and you look and you look and you look several times in the same places,
And then you find it.
and then
in
you
the
find
same
it in the
place you looked
same
for.
place where you started looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is really good. I like this.
Yeah.
Makes me feel better. Let's keep going.
So yeah, Venezuela and the Venezuelan situation. That's basically what's what's been on my mind, and
Which leads us to the subject of the day, which is basically what's going on in Venezuela.
yeah, yeah, and how as you know, to quote Sigurion, or maybe not to quote Sigurion, but like, and how as Latinos or like people living in Latin America, like this affects us all.
Well, you're gonna get. I'm gonna, of course,
We're gonna go there,
ask you to explain basically what's going on in a second. But I will say that one of the things I told you when the elections were, I don't know if the elections had happened or if they were approaching, but I told you directly that like I've never seen the Latin American people be so identified with one subject, unified in one subject before like this. Because like in Dominican Republic, everybody, and we have a lot of Venezuelans that have been coming over to the Dominican Republic, taking over jobs and all that. Like everybody complains about immigrants everywhere,
Yeah,
and the Dominicans, everybody was like appalled for them
yeah. There's a
because
me-
it's yeah.
there's a meme on the internet that started, I think, on X, Twitter. I don't know. Um, was that Venezuelan women would go to Peru because that's where it started and steal their husbands. So that's the thing, like all of the Venezuelan women are stealing like husbands everywhere, and
I mean,
and in
Venezuelan women in the Dominican Republic are very sought after, very much sought after.
yeah, and after we've seen declarations from different governments, like saying like this is not right, like we denounce like the irregularities, like we want the Venezuelan government to like step up to the plate and like admit defeat if they are actually defeated. I mean, because they are. There's an account on Twitter X that's been making a list. Okay, Venezuelans, it's now forbidden to steal husbands from the following countries, and that list it keeps getting updated. Like so, there's like several countries in the region where we are not allowed to steal husbands from,
Yeah,
which is that's you help us,
yeah.
we keep your you get to keep your man.
Thank you. I guess.
Yeah,
I
or your
guess.
women, like I don't know,
I guess.
whatever drugs you're both. But yeah, okay. Where do we start with the Venezuelan thing, with the
was-
Venezuelan situation?
It was a warm morning in 1974.
Yeah. It there was it was dark, and God said, "Let there be light."
Jesus, that's way back.
No, wait,
That's the
this just
prequels.
yeah, no, but wait, okay. Long story short, 1998, Chavez, he won an election.
The goat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That came out wrong.
I am gonna steal your girlfriend.
That came out wrong. But you got to admit,
I am gonna steal your girlfriend.
not a lot of people can die and then keep a hold on a country for decades.
I mean, the H guy, the Austrian painter.
No.
No, well, no.
As soon as he died,
Every-
Germany basically turned their backs on him and said like, "Yo, we don't know this
I
dude."
mean, he offed himself, but yeah. No, I guess bad example, but yeah. I mean,
But sorry,
I'm
he's
gonna,
not the goat. I'm not saying I admire Chavez. Just to be clear, I'm just saying that as far
Yeah,
as
'cause this-
dictators go,
Yeah, because this podcast would have been over now.
I'm saying as far as the dictatorship goes, he's like when you talk about stats. I'm a sports guy. I like sports. So if you talk about stats and like objectively,
Continue.
he's done very well for himself.
So I am gonna give it to you. He was charismatic. He was.
Not what I said.
Wait.
Not what I said.
He had his strategies on.
I'm not. Yeah.
Like he knew how to like move the chess pieces in the Venezuelan system, which is basically slowly and steadily putting people who are in favor of him in positions of power, but in a way that people would not realize right away. So I'll give you that.
There we go.
And he was also really good at doing PR campaigns for himself, because everywhere you went in as a Venezuelan when he was alive,
Didn't you tell me he had a TV show or a radio?
he had a TV show, but that's only on the inside of Venezuela, and we're going to talk about that. But like outside, wherever you went as a Venezuelan and you said I'm Venezuelan, people would go like, "Yeah, Chavez," and I'm like, "No, thank you," because he was really good at giving money to everybody in the region, in the Latin American region, outside of the Venezuelan region, like because he got
A lot of
in
money.
power at a time where the Venezuelan oil was really high in price. So basically, what that means for the Venezuelans who were living in Venezuela was that everything was really affordable. Like I remember in my times of self-destruction, I would just need 2,000 bolivares which was nothing, was just like one of the lowest uh, bills in the denomination, and you could buy cheap alcohol, like a bottle of cheap rum, that would destroy your liver, but it would give you like a great buzz.
It's such a great measurement to say to a Dominican because I totally get what you mean.
Yeah.
And I will say, just to add real quick, that I grew up hearing from my parents and teachers and stuff like that, that Venezuela in the 60s, 70s, 80s was the country to look up to in Latin America. Of course, Cuba went into their situation
Yeah.
early in the 20th century, but I don't know, I sound like a teacher now. But point is, Venezuela was always a country that Latin America was looking up to and aspiring to be in terms of not only the economy but like the development and the education and all that. You had like you basically did not need a visa to go to Europe until recently.
This whole debacle. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's also why it's very hard for Dominicans. Even though my generation didn't grow up with that kind of Venezuela, we did we did grow up listening or hearing about this kind of Venezuela.
I mean, in also in the 70s and 80s, uh, there were a lot of industries that were booming in Venezuela. Not just like oil, or but music. The music industry was booming. Like
Yeah.
all of the big name artists would come to Venezuela to record. There was like also for the time, I think the
Probably
dubbing,
tourism.
like dubbing.
Tourism as well, probably.
Tourism, yeah, tourism is always, well. It should be more advertised, but back then they were like ad campaigns
Yeah.
and stuff, uh, because there's basically everything to see in Venezuela. Like you can go to a place and be like in a desert area, then you can go to a jungle. You can go to the beaches that are in the Caribbean, which I mean, you guys in Dominican Republic are there in smackdown in the Caribbean.
We are the Caribbean,
So,
bro.
so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we just have like we just got a little bit of the Caribbean, which is like good enough for us to like, hey, come here. We're in the Caribbean as well.
Yeah.
Uh, and and you could like do a lot of things in there. It's like it's a really good tourism country if the infrastructure is well maintained. But yeah, uh, they kept focusing on oil in the during Chavez's time, and the money was basically used to finance his PR stunts and like PR campaigns, so that everybody would be like, yeah, Chavez is good, blah blah blah. There were also social programs, which are good, but they were also used as a political tool. Like you had to go and register yourself at the party that Chavez created in order for you to get food, or like what they call, that's also, and it got even worse after Chavez died, because people had to do like lists. They called the uno por diez. So one person had to get 10 people to go to vote for the Chavista candidate, and then they would have to go to
That's
like
like open mics where you have to bring the audience.
basically, and then that you will have to go to like a what they call a punto rojo, like a red spot, and then take those people there and have them like register that they voted, so they could like compare who was voting for who at the end of every election, and they would get food or like um, money, like
Can I?
bonuses.
Okay, because for somebody that's not Venezuelan, this is how I learned to understand it. Just like we mentioned, Venezuela had a lot of money because of oil, and had a lot of money invested all over the world. Let's put it that way. And when Chavez got to power, he basically collected all the money that Venezuela had all around the world, brought it back to Venezuela, and basically started using it for different things, like you just said, like the propaganda, marketing, whatever. But most importantly, telling the Venezuelan people, from now on, I'm going to give you money, and I'm going to give you a box of food every month, which is by what you're saying, only if you sign up to my party. And as long as you are with me, you will get that every month for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
No
I
more.
mean, it was not said in those specific terms,
No,
but
I'm paraphrasing
yeah,
basically.
but you had to be registered for
Yeah.
like to get the benefits and
Yeah.
things. Like
But that's basically why he got so much love, because this is what I've told you many times before. If Dominican Republic had a candidate that came up to the fucking podium and said, "If you vote for me, I will give you $100 and $100 cash a month, and I'm going to give you $200 worth of food a month," I guarantee it, everybody would vote for this person. The reason why nobody can do that is because we don't have the resources that Venezuela has. And the other week, I think I sent it to you. Didn't I send it to you that they found oil in Dominican Republic?
yeah, you told me that.
They found a huge reserve of oil in Dominican Republic. So it's about to get ugly.
Yeah.
Like you just said, it's
Gonna-
cyclical. It goes from
Yeah.
place to place.
You're gonna start hearing also like eagles. I don't know how to do eagle sounds. Bald eagle sounds.
That sounded like a bald mouse.
I don't
That's
know.
what it sounded
Yeah,
like.
whatever. I'm cutting this part out.
That was, no, you got to leave that. People need to see that.
Like he did all these like things outside, like, but the giving money away was for himself to be like for his image. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
that's how
that's
you
what.
become. Like that's what I mean. That's
Yeah.
how you get people to vote for you. Like I'm not gonna get into the fraud, but a very easy way of staying in power is by making the poor people pay
Yeah.
vote for you.
Yeah.
70% of the Dominican Republic is poor people. If you offer money and food every month, 70% of the population is gonna vote for you.
Yeah. Ideally, yeah. That's
know what I mean?
Yeah, that's in the in
That's the-
theory that's what
yeah.
will happen.
Yeah.
It was not secret. Also, it was no secret that Chavez was really good friends with Fidel Castro, or maybe Fidel Castro just was causing up to Chavez. I don't know. They was both. They were just like
They were probably buddy.
they're definitely bad boys. Yeah. We just leaped over to 2013, where Chavez died. So everybody.
Go. Sorry. I just needed to see that face again. I apologize. Chavez is a very bad person that did a lot of bad things, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Venezuela.
This is not gonna get me to help you move.
I'm just saying. It was just a joke. Just a joke.
So if I don't help you, if I don't help him move,
He died over a decade ago,
still the trauma persists.
and he's still going. No, I'm just saying he's still going strong.
Yeah.
So
So
it's just stats.
so he died in 2013, 11 years ago now. Every Venezuelan basically remembers where they were when it was announced that Chavez had died. Thing is, in 2012 he had won a re-election. Like he got re-elected for a third term at this point. Because he was 2000, 2006, 2006, 2012. No, 98.
6 years.
Yeah, because that's one of the things that Chavez did. He changed the constitution from the one that we had in 1961 to a new one that he made in 1999, who made the presidential terms 6 years. Then he made it so that
He could re-elect.
all publicly elected positions could get re-elected.
Indefinitely.
Indefinitely. Sorry. He won for a third term, but he had cancer. Then in March 2013, it was announced that he died. But before that, he had always said that if something happens to me, you're gonna vote for this guy, Maduro being like next to him.
Don't use me as a example of
That's
Maduro.
that's what you get. Well, I don't know.
I guess I deserve that.
To his guy, so he pointed at Maduro. So when he died and the elections had to be remade because the person who had won died, he was there up for election.
And here comes.
And that's when he started on the first round, the first presidential term of Maduro. You would not see in the advertisements one single picture of
It
Maduro
will be
alone.
Chavez, yeah.
It would be only Chavez. Like let's vote because that's where the wishes of our commander.
I just want to say that at this moment, steps up Maduro, which I'm being very careful with my words right now, which is another goat. It's
Why
another
do you keep
goat.
saying
I mean that. I mean that. But in a completely different way. This is more like
like as an actual animal goat?
no. I think he's the greatest of all time dumbass that you can see on TV. Like I have to I like cuz Trump is not exactly dumb even though he's actually making a very good job at looking like one lately. But Maduro, like I wish that more people spoke Spanish so they could see this man at work.
And then you could be like, how did this guy got into
It is
office?
remarkable to see this man be the president, the leader of a country. The dude is straight up stupid. Like I'm sorry. Like and I come
No, don't be. Just
I just want to say I have a philosophy. I got this from my father. I used to like everybody used to make fun of different presidents when I was growing up, and there was this one president that we had that was kind of like our Trump, uh, and he was ridiculous. He would say the craziest things on camera and all that stuff, and people used to say he was dumb. And my father, when I was a kid, and people would make fun of this guy, my father, who didn't vote for him, would always say he's not stupid. Nobody gets there being stupid. Like you might not like him, you might not agree with him, but he ain't dumb. He got there for a reason. But when it comes to Maduro, there's nothing I can. Not one piece of evidence that has shown me that he is even able to run a corner store, let alone a country.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't trust that man to take care of my plant, and I don't have plants. But
Yeah.
goddamn.
Yeah, 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 definitely. That I mean, you're not wrong there, like totally not wrong. But like he got there in the first uh,
I think that I'm
election
sorry.
time where only Chavez was in the ads. The next one, uh, for the next one, which is the one that just ended before the 28th of July. Usually, our elections in Venezuela are in December, like the presidential elections. He moved them to July. I don't know why, but that second term, he also won, allegedly. No, and now it comes for like this third election cycle. So now we're going like, it's a little bit like all over the place, but like now we're going like closer to like the events of 2024. Okay, so people were signing up like to put their names in up for election, and there is this woman called Maria Corina Machado. So she was a congresswoman. There's 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 video evidence that she's one of the only people from the Venezuelan opposition who she has been very polarizing. I gotta tell you, like to a degree, I thought she was just a little bit like a doña doña the junta de condominio, like,
Got
but
him.
yeah, a little bit, but she's proven she's not. But there were times when you had to be a certain kind of person to like step up to Chavez, and
Yeah.
she stepped up to Chavez in the parliament and told him like he was a thief and he had stolen Venezuela, and like this thing of like expropriating things that he had been doing is point blank stealing, blah blah blah. Like it was like a una retaíla, and that's where the one of the things that Chavez said, like Águila no caza mosca, is there, because he Chavez told her that he was not afraid of her, like not afraid, but like worried about her opinions because the eagles don't hunt for flies. She put her name in the ballot, and the electoral authority was like, nope, you are banned from running for election, like official office. You're banned from running from office for 15 years
For what?
for inciting violence, and
By standing up.
By
to the
no,
president.
it's just they just invented some.
They had to have a charge. There has to be a reason.
We're talking about Venezuela. All of these
Even
people.
if it's bullshit, there has to be an excuse.
Yeah, but it's a bullshit excuse.
Yeah, of course.
So when all of the government positions are filled with people who are pro Chavez and pro Revolución
You
Bolivariana,
come at the king.
yeah. So if you go for Maduro or whoever it is there, then you're gonna be like you're gonna go against Chavez. And Chavez is gonna look up in hell and be like, why are you doing this? Like, it's just a big, that's what they think. But then again, she was banned from running from office for 15 years. So she couldn't do it because of charges of inciting violence. That's what they said. Okay, so there was another woman called Corina Lloris who the Venezuelan opposition coalition, which is not just one party. Like the Venezuelan opposition, mind you, it's not just one party, like because it's not like in the states like Republicans versus Democrats.
I know.
It's gotten to that point because Chavez has been such a amalgamizing force that all of the other like I'm just putting a number
Opposition.
like all of the like 11, 17, whatever number they are like of the opposition parties that were pulling to the different agendas.
directions, yeah.
But Chavez was here. We're gonna go here. You're gonna go here with me. So the Venezuelan opposition had to like get together, even like unwillingly, so to be able to have a chance
Yeah.
at at, at a fighting chance. They had banned Maria Corina Machado. Okay. Then they put like this other woman called Corina Lloris, who was like a scholar or something, has never been like big in politics. Okay, so she couldn't be charged for inciting violence. Again, disabled, like banned from.
Disabled.
Yeah, sorry. Like I'm. It's difficult to do this in both languages.
Disabled.
Inhabilitada. So
Like they made her. Like
they
made
did
her
not. They did
disabled?
not. They did not make her disabled. They banned her again for 15 years for running for office. There was a third candidate that 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 was registered independently, which is Edmundo González Urrutia. So he
Mundito.
yeah.
Mundito.
So he or like they, like the coalition of the Venezuelan opposition parties, signed him in as an independent candidate. So they thought he was just like some mama huevo out in the streets, like didn't know, like one of those. Because in Venezuela, like Venezuela has a long story of people running for president, who, like, who are you? When the ballot, the final official ballot for the people who were running for president, came in, then it 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 was made known that the coalition of the opposition parties were gonna support Edmundo González Urrutia. The opposition parties, or the opposition party now, uh, never had one ad on TV, one billboard out in the street. Everything was done like through social media, through like efforts of like getting people together and coordinating people together. So the elections on the 28th of July come, and everybody is told like they have to go be there in the voting polls, and when the votings were closed, the witnesses, like the civilian witnesses, should be there to like see that everything was running smoothly and all of that. So and because in the rules of the Venezuelan elections, you have witnesses from all of the parties. So all of the parties who are in a race for office. So and they get copies of like the tally sheets.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the same everywhere.
So there were videos all over the internet of people saying like, in this place, en el coño de la madre in Venezuela, like some place like far away. Uh, Maduro had like 60 votes, and Edmundo González Urrutia had 600 votes. So there were like differences that were like really evident. So everybody inside and outside of the country was, how they say in Spanish, en ascuas, like waiting for the results. So by the end, when it comes the time for the electoral authorities to announce the results that they had counted, because the process of the Venezuelan voting process is digitalized. So it's like a glorified punto de venta, glorified POSI.
Sounds like drug point,
Yeah.
drug drop.
So it's
Un punto de droga.
yeah, no, but it's a glorified like point of sale, like when you like swipe your card and you get that like
Pose.
yeah, POSI. Like at the end of the whole thing, you get a report with like the long like ticket thing.
Yeah.
So
Un verifone.
yeah, like a verifone. Yeah. So the election machines in Venezuela are basically a glorified verifone.
Yeah.
So, okay, and all of that is transmitted to Caracas by a dedicated telephone landline.
Do we have to be this specific?
We have to be. We have to be because I am Venezuelan and this is what we do. The time comes and the electoral authority is like, with 5 million something votes, Nicolás Maduro. And with 4 million something, Edmundo González Urrutia. And everybody was like, wait a minute.
So up until this point,
It was
every report that had been shown, for the most part, would show a very big
yeah.
gap
These
between the opposition.
These were people reporting from their polling stations.
Yeah.
Because then again, the TV was not
Yeah,
showing
but
any of this.
Like social media was the way that everything was being run. Like
Yeah.
you said. So it was being reported up until this point that El Mundo was winning by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard that at one point there was a stop in the reporting.
Yeah, because when they were like counting all the things, the electoral authority said that there was a hacking on their system, so that's why they had to stop. But even with that hacking, they still announced the winner. Yeah, exactly, same face. And so everybody started getting like, wait, this is not what we were seeing all over the country. Like, what's happened? This is where you're gonna see like how great Latino women are. Maria Corina came on social media on a live thing. Mind you, Maria Corina Machado, Edmundo González, and people from her political team were at this point inside the Argentinian embassy in Venezuela. So during that day, they were all there, protected. And they made all the announcements and everything on social media from there. Which means that if they were to do anything and they were like in their house or whatever, the Venezuelan government, the Venezuelan police forces could break in and take them away.
Yeah.
So this is where we first say, Argentina, you are the best. Like, forbidden to steal Argentinian husbands. Okay, Maria Corina Machado came out and said, we know we won. We know Maduro lost. And in the next 24 hours, we will tell you why. I don't know, 24 hours, something passed. Maria Corina Machado announces that there's a website with all of the tally sheets that their witnesses had collected, digitalized from all over Venezuela, where you can input an ID number. You want to see who voted for who, but like, for example, my ID, my Venezuelan ID, is connected to a polling station. So if you were to put my Venezuelan ID, you would see the results of the polling station where I usually vote in Venezuela. It doesn't say that I vote. It says that this number is there. These are the results from this polling
I'm
station.
with you.
And at the beginning, when they launched this website, they had 40% of all of the tally sheets from the country. Mind you, there are about 30,000 polling stations in the Venezuelan territory.
And they had 40%.
They have 40% of that.
Okay.
And with that proportion, Maduro was losing by a long shot, by almost like 70-30.
70-30. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I read.
Then people started sending more. People they kept working on like getting more tally sheets and results, and to a point they got to up to like 70-80%. Hey you guys, Dan here. At that point in the recording, back then, the camera, and by the camera I mean my phone, ran out of storage. So I had to empty out the phone, and then we met up later to try to record again. So there might be a bit of gaps in this episode. But in this podcast, we're not about to leave you with the chisme a la mitad. And we're going to get a second part, which is probably going to be out now. Like there, this part one and part two of this episode is going to be out at the same time. So check it out. Check it out. It's right there. All right. See you. And thanks for listening and watching. Bye bye.